everyone, welcome to Live Interactive English. This is Karen.
Hello everybody, I am Shane.
Today we're looking at day one of smartphone myths that aren't so smart. And the vocabulary words are various.
Various.
The new store sells clothes, bags, and various other things.
Limited.
Limited.
You need to hurry to get free pizza because there is only a limited supply.
All right.
Yes.
Background.
Background.
I really like the mountain in the background.
Me too. Is there really a mountain behind
No.
me? Damage.
Damage.
Our playful dog damaged a few things after we let it into the living room.
Ah,
Bad
reasonable.
Reasonable.
As he often comes to buy things here, I gave him a very reasonable rate.
You are so nice.
I am super nice.
So we're talking about smartphones, right? And
That's
there's
right.
some myths out there about smartphones. What are some of the myths that were mentioned?
Okay, I remember one of them was that if you close the apps on your phone will actually run faster.
Also, like the apps that you're not using, because maybe they're running in the background or something. So that's supposed to be a myth? I thought that seems to make sense to me.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. That's what I always believed in too.
I think the point is that the system can know that you're not using that app, and actually it will use very few resources. So maybe it'll speed it up a little, but it doesn't make a big difference.
Oh, okay, so the difference is not that huge.
Actually, this another myth that I remember from the reading, and I've done this myself, is
Okay.
I dropped my phone into the toilet. And
You
then I
did not.
Then I Googled, oh my God, my phone dropped in the toilet. What should I do? And someone told me to put it in rice.
Uncooked rice, right?
Uncooked rice, right.
In a bag of uncooked
And
rice.
it will just soak up the water. But it's a myth
So
because
it didn't work.
yeah, and it didn't actually work. I had to take it into the shop and they fixed it. But it makes sense because the rice can only absorb the water that's touching it.
So not the inside.
But inside the phone, it can't get the water out of there.
Okay, gotcha.
Let's read more.
Interesting myths. Okay, let's read more and find out.
Smartphone myths that aren't so smart.
There are many myths about various types of new technology, especially the smartphone. Here we will look at some common smartphone myths. If your smartphone falls into water, you can dry it by putting it into a bag of uncooked rice. While rice does absorb water, it only absorbs water that it touches. If water goes inside your phone, the rice can't get to it and can't help. A better way of getting rid of water is to turn off your phone and dry it with a towel.
Welcome to Live Interactive English Magazine. Today's lesson is called Smartphone Myths That Aren't So Smart. Day one. Hi everyone, my name is Jeff.
And I'm Mike. Now when we talk about myths, many people think about old stories of gods and heroes from a long time ago. And of course, gods and heroes from a long time ago didn't have smartphones. So we're not talking about those kinds of myths. We're talking about things that people here commonly believe to be true without actually having a lot of proof. It could just be a rumor or a story or something that people believe, but is it actually true? And so we're talking today about some of those things that people think they know about their smartphone, advice and suggestions and stories they've heard about smartphones, but are they actually true? If you listen to these myths, are you actually helping your phone? Or are you hurting it? Or are you just worrying about something that you really don't need to worry about? So let's have a look at some of these smartphone myths and see how we can be a little more intelligent about how we take care of our smartphones.
Yes, let's look at some smartphone myths that aren't so smart. Anyways, our article begins by saying there are many myths about various types of new technology, especially the smartphone. In the sentence, we have the adjective various to
Yes,
talk about.
that's right. It is an adjective, and we're talking about various types of new technology. When new technology or new machines come out, there are often a lot of myths or things that people believe to be true because it's kind of new and people don't have the information. Various types means different kinds of new technology, right? So there might be myths about smartphones, about VR goggles, about things like that. And there's not just one type of technology, there are many types. And that's what various means. It's an adjective talking about different types of things, okay? If you go to a store, they'll have various types of products to buy. If you go to most restaurants, they'll have various types of food on the menu. Not just one, but many different choices or many different kinds. For example, the new store sells clothes, bags, and various other things. Shoes, hats, belts, things like that. But too many to name. We're just saying lots of different kinds.
Anyways, let's go ahead and get started.
Yes.
Let's start looking at some smartphone myths. Yes, here in our lesson, we will look at some common smartphone myths.
Okay, I'd like this because I've heard some of these and I know people do listen to them, but are they actually true? What's the first one?
Number one.
Okay.
If your smartphone falls into water, you can dry it by putting it into a bag of uncooked rice.
Rice,
now,
yes, dry rice.
This does sound silly, but there's some good reasoning behind it. Yes, rice does absorb water, so maybe the rice can pull that water out of your smartphone. Well, not exactly. While rice does absorb water, it only absorbs water that it touches. So if your rice doesn't get inside your smartphone there, it won't be drying your smartphone out. The inside will stay wet.
And you could take your phone apart, but that might cause other problems, and that's a hard thing to do. That's interesting because I know people who say they dropped their phone in the toilet or whatever, and they put it in a bag of rice, and maybe it helped, but it's certainly not going to do the job. So the rice has to actually touch the water, and obviously if the water is inside the phone, you can't put rice inside your phone. So the article says if water goes inside your phone, the rice can't get to it and can't help. It can't dry it or pick up that water. So what would you do if you do drop your phone in water? A better way of getting rid of water is to turn off your phone and dry it with a towel. That's doing exactly what the rice would do, and you'd be able to do it a lot faster too. So grab a towel, turn off the phone, because of course water and electricity and batteries, they don't mix very well, so that'll help to limit the damage, but just dry it with a towel like you would dry other wet things.
There you go. One up, one down. We have now debunked, one dumb myth about smartphones. By the way, when you correct a myth or a mistaken belief like that, you debunk it. D-E-B-U-N-K. All right, folks, with that, it's time for us to take a break, but don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。科技日新月异，现在有各式各样的新科技，那伴随而来的是各种不同的迷思。在这2天课文当中，我们要来一一检视一些常见的手机迷思。标题里面的 myth 它有神话的意思，那在课文里面是指迷思，也就是指似是而非的错误观念。好，那么单字 various 则是形容各式各样的或是不同种类的。好，那我们第一个迷思是，如果智慧型手机掉到水里面，可以把它放进一袋没有煮过的米里面来吸干水分。虽然米可以吸水，但它只能吸附接触到的水分，除非你把手机整个拆解开来，否则米根本吸收不到这个手机里面的水分。你要去除水分，有一个比较好的方法，就是关机，然后再用毛巾把它擦干。好，这边一个补充单字 absorb 它是动词，表示吸收。那刚刚 Jeff 老师提到，如果我们要表达破解迷思，你可以用 debunk 这个动词。debunk 它表示揭穿，像是揭穿假象啊、不实的行为或是言论，或者是揭露什么什么的真相。接回到课文中。
Smartphone myths that aren't so smart.
Closing smartphone apps makes your phone run faster. This might sound correct since a phone's memory is limited. The truth is, though, that both Apple and Android phones put limits on apps that are running in the background. Therefore, the app that is being used will always run as fast as possible.
Okay, everyone, let's move on to smartphone myth Number 2.
Okay, what have you got?
Closing smartphone apps makes your phone run faster. Now, I've heard this.
Yeah.
Sometimes people believe that all of those programs running in the background can take memory away or use up that memory. So if you close them, your phone should run faster. But apparently, this is also a myth.
Interesting. I've heard this, and actually I do this because people told me it will help. Well, it says this might sound correct. It might make sense. It might sound correct since a phone's memory is limited. All right, so yeah, there is some logic to it because a phone, like other computers, have a limited memory. That means they only have a fixed amount of memory, and if you use it all up, then it's going to run slower, right?
There's no more.
That's right.
If you use up all the memory in your phone, okay, your phone's not going to make new memory.
It's
your
just
memory
gonna
is going
slow
to
down.
Your memory is going to fill up, and that will be it because your phone's memory is limited. Okay. If something is limited, I should say, that thing has an end to it, a very specific end. So let's say you've got a phone with 2 gigabytes of memory. You can't exceed that amount, 2 gigabytes. That's the limit, or that's where your phone's memory is going to fill up. Anyways, the word limited here is an adjective, I should say. And yes, we've got an example sentence for you. It says, you need to hurry to get free pizza because there is only a limited supply. They will run out. They will sell out this pizza. There's only so much they can sell before they stop selling it.
All right, so this is the logic. You got to shut some programs down because you're using up the memory and there is limited memory. So if you want your phone to run better, shut down some of the apps you're not using. The truth is, though, we read, the truth is, here's the real facts, people. The truth is, though, that both Apple and Android phones put limits on apps that are running in the background. So the computer, or the phone, I should say, knows that this is a problem. So what it does is it basically sort of turns off those apps or only gives them a small amount of memory to use when you're not using them, so that this doesn't happen. I guess this is something that might have happened on the iPhone 1 or iPhone 2, but by now they've figured it out, so they put limits on the apps. They control the memory that these apps are using in the background. Now, background is one of our featured words. It's a noun. Generally, background is what's behind the main action, okay? So if you're looking at a painting, you see a person in the front, and then behind that person are some mountains and trees. That's the background. When actors are acting on stage, they're right at the front of the stage, and behind them might be a picture of mountains or trees or a city or whatever. That's the background. It's what's behind the main thing. When we're using it in a computer way, we're talking about programs that are running, but they're not the ones you're using right now. They're the ones that are just quietly working away. On a lot of typical computers, you might have antivirus software running in the background. It's on, but it's not the main thing you're using. It's behind the main action. For example, I really like the mountain in the background. Here, of course, we're talking about a picture, a painting.
Something that's actually behind
That's
you.
right.
A program on a computer or a smartphone, though, is running in the background. It's active. It's running, but it's kind of hidden. You don't see that thing operating or working.
It's doing its job quietly.
It's doing its job quietly. Anyways, therefore, our article continues, the app that is being used will always run as fast as possible. So don't worry about those apps running in the background and slowing you down. I should say. That is a myth.
Well, that's good to know. So
It
the
is good
machine
to
is
know.
smart enough to know this app needs a lot of memory. I'll have to turn those ones down or turn them off.
It is a smartphone.
It is
after
very
all.
smart.
Anyways, with that, folks, it's time for us to take a break, but don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
第二个迷思是关掉手机应用程式会让手机跑得比较快，这听起来很合理啊，毕竟手机的记忆体有限，把没有用到的程式关一关，不是会让手机跑得比较快吗？但其实苹果和安卓手机都会对那些在背景运作的应用程式设下限制，它们其实不会占用多少记忆体，所以你正在使用的应用程式，它一直都会是最佳状态，以它最快的速度在运作着。好，那文中的 memory 是名词，在这边表示记忆体。那这边还有两个单字 limit 当名词表示限制 ，put limit on something 就表示对什么设下限制。那在字尾加上 ed，limited 表示有限的或是不多的，是当形容词来用。Jeff 在解释单字时提到 exceed。这个动词它表示超过、超出。好，下一个单字 background 表示背景。我们平常在用电脑的时候啊，这个背景通常都会有防毒软体同时在运作。那我们就顺便学一下 antivirus software。Antivirus software 就是指防毒软体，那其中这个 antivirus 表示防电脑病毒的 ，virus 是病毒，那它的字首 anti 有对抗的意思。接回到课文中
Smartphone myths that aren't so smart.
Screen protectors are a must. In fact, most smartphone screens today are made with special glass that is very difficult to damage. Many smartphones, therefore, can do without screen protectors and still offer reasonable protection.
All right, everyone, let's move on to myth number 3. And Mike, I have to say, I already knew that this myth that we're about to talk about next,
Really?
I already knew that this, was a myth. Yes.
Okay.
Screen protectors are a must.
Ah, these are those...
No, they aren't, everyone.
Those thin plastic sheets that people buy and carefully put on the screen to stop it from getting scratched when it's in your pocket with some coins or when you drop it or use it. Yeah, a lot of people feel like, hey, you got to get a screen protector. Maybe you should get 2 just in case. And if something is a must, that means it's absolutely necessary. Do not use your phone without this or you're just asking for trouble. You have to get a screen protector.
No.
Right?
No. In fact, most smartphone screens today are made with special glass that is very difficult to damage.
I would put this in that category of things that were probably true 10 years ago with the first smartphones, but the new ones, a special plastic coating, it's happened all the time. The phone companies know that. They don't have that trouble.
Not true. Steve Jobs, when designing the first iPhone, had that special glass called Gorilla Glass made. He said that I will not make the iPhone unless I can put it in my jean pocket there with my keys so that the screen does not, or the glass I should say, would not get scratched.
So we've been wasting our money on screen protectors this whole time.
Yes, because the special glass, Gorilla Glass, it's very, very difficult to damage. You can't hurt this thing, you can't harm this thing, you can't damage it. Anyways, the word damage is a verb, and yes, if you damage something, you break that thing. You hurt that thing in some way. You don't damage people, by the way. Usually you injure people, but the idea is about the same. For example, our playful dog damaged a few things after we let it into the living room.
It's jumping around, it knocked a glass down or broke the leg of a table.
It ruined my Picasso.
It ruined your Picasso. Oh. Anyways, back to smartphone screens. Many smartphones, it says therefore, because of this, these special glass, many smartphones therefore can do without screen protectors and still offer reasonable protection. If you do without something, that means you don't need it or you choose not to have it. Okay, so they can live without a screen protector, they're fine, and the special glass still offers reasonable protection. Now, reasonable, this is an important adjective we should put in here. We're talking about the protection that the glass offers. It's reasonable. This adjective means it's acceptable. It's within sort of normal limits, what you would normally expect. Basically saying, if you shoot the glass with a gun, yes, it will break. If you drive over the glass in a car, it could get scratched, but that's not reasonable. Reasonable is putting it in your pocket with keys and coins or dropping it on the floor. That would be reasonable, of course, but stabbing it with a samurai sword or something will probably scratch or break the glass. But that would be unreasonable.
Yeah, well, don't do that.
That would be crazy or extreme or beyond what's normal. Reasonable is what's sort of normal. For example, as he often comes to buy things here, I gave him a very reasonable rate, a very average, fairly low, good rate. Not too high, not too low. Right in the acceptable area.
Very sensible.
Sensible. There you go.
All right, folks, with that, it's time for us to end today's lesson, but don't go away. More fun is coming up soon.
第三个迷思是，萤幕保护贴是绝对必要的。其实现在大部分的手机萤幕它都是用不容易受损的特殊玻璃制成的，就算你不贴萤幕保护贴，它本身还是可以提供不错的保护，除非是像麦克老师说的，故意用武士刀去损坏萤幕，那就另当别论了。好，文中的 protector 在这边它是指保护膜、保护贴。那我们最后来看两个单字 damage 在这边当动词表示伤害、损伤，那它的意思跟 ruin 很相近。要特别注意的是 damage 通常是指伤害无生命的东西，那有生命的东西我们一般用 hurt 或者是 harm 来表达伤害。Jeff 老师说的 injure 这个动词也可以指损害或者使什么受伤，那 injure 常常用来指在事故中受伤。下一个单字 reasonable 它是形容合理的，或是形容价钱是公道的不贵的。它的相反词在前面加上 un 变成 unreasonable 表示不合理的。老师们刚刚还提到两个形容词 acceptable 表示可以接受的，那么 sensible 只是形容明智的或者是合情理的。好了，那么以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。大家好，我是 Hanny。在今天的课程中，我们要介绍4个文法重点。第一个是 get rid of 加上名词或动名词。第二个是不定词做主词补语。第三个是片语动词 turn off。第四个是 as 加上形容词或副词加上 as possible。首先，我们来学习 get rid of 加上名词或动名词。Get rid of 它表示摆脱掉或者是除掉，其中的 rid 是动词 rid 的过去分词。rid 表示使什么摆脱，使什么免除，它的三态同形 rid。而片语 get rid of 后面可以接名词或动名词，例如 Coffee grounds can be used to get rid of bad smells。咖啡渣可以用来除掉臭味。接下来我们来学习不定词做主词补语的用法。不定词也就是 to 加原形动词，它可以当主词、受词或是补语来用。以不定词当主词的时候，必须视为单数。我们来看3个例句。To travel around the world has been my dream。环游世界一直都是我的梦想。句中的不定词片语 to travel around the world 是当主词，必须视为单数，所以后面搭配助动词 has。第二个例句 They can't afford to buy a house。他们买不起房子。那句中的不定词片语 to buy a house 是当作动词 afford 的受词。第三个例句 One way to improve your writing skills is to keep a diary。增进写作技巧的一个方法是写日记。句中的第一个不定词片语 to improve your writing skills 是用来修饰前方主词 one way， 表示增进写作技巧的一个方法。而第二个不定词片语 to keep a diary 是当主词补语来用。接着我们来学习片语动词 turn off。Turn off 表示关掉，像是关掉电器、装置等等。那它的相反词是 turn on。例如 Please turn off the lights when you leave the room。离开房间时，请关灯。最后，我们来学习 as 加上形容词或副词加上 as possible。as 什么什么 as 是用来进行同级比较，表示和什么什么一样。那么 as 形容词 as possible 或是 as 副词 as possible 就表示尽可能的怎么样怎么样，也可以改写成 as 什么什么 as one can。例如 Let's wrap this meeting up as quickly as possible。我们尽快把这个会议结束掉吧。例句中的 as quickly as possible 也可以改写成 as quickly as we can。以上是今天的重点整理，我们下次见喽 ！See you next time, bye.
迎收看，就爱讲英文。
我是季安，
我是悠悠。这个打包行李的时候，一定要确认自己的这个行李是不是带一些不能够上飞机的物品，因为这是飞安，你知道吗？有些东西不能够带，你不要以为什么都可以带。
所以你要看到那个字啊，叫 prohibit。prohibit
啊
，prohibit 就是禁止的意思。
禁止。
好 ，OK， 所以你常常在排队的时候，在 check in 的时候可以看到告示哦。
没错。
什么东西不能带这样？
对，如果你看不清楚，你可以问地勤。
对，
他会念给你听。
OK，What items are prohibited on flights?
What items are prohibited on flights?
On the plane.
什么东西不能带上机？
对，然后他就会跟你说，有些东西是危险的。Certain items are considered hazardous and are prohibited on all flights.
怎么那么长
？Certain items are considered hazardous. 就是有些东西呢是被认为是危险的。
危险。
Hazard 这个字呢，当名词的话就是危险，后面加 ous 变成它的形容词。And are prohibited on all flights， 所有的班机都不能用，这样不能带上去。
所以 hazardous 是等于 dangerous 的意思。
对。
哦，所以有些东西都不能够带上去，你不要以为什么都可以带，但是有哪些东西不能带呢？
比如说爆裂物，对不对？
哦，当然不行。
Explosives 就炸药类的哈。对，在 check in 的时候最好不要讲这两个字，对。不然就
局部待不起来。跟你说真的。
好，然后还有就是易燃物 ，flammable substance。Flammable substances 好都可以。好，那还有这个鞭炮 ，firecrackers。
Firecrackers 有人带鞭炮上飞机，
很瞎啊！每次我看到那个，都觉得真的会有人带这个出去吗？对。
还有打火机，有人会带打火机上飞机吗？
有啊，抽烟的啊
，lighter。The lighters，OK，
打火机。
还有呢，不能带那种尖锐物品，比如剪刀啊、刀子啊，然后竹签啊，
这样 OK。所以 items with sharp or pointed blades。Items
with sharp or pointed blades，
就是有尖锐的这些刀子的东西啊都不行。
女生喜欢修指甲嘛，对不对？
剪刀对不对 ？Scissors， 然后指甲剪 ，nail clippers
不行。
好 ，nail clippers 就是指甲剪哈。OK， 那刚刚讲的 sharp。
尖锐
pointed 都是尖锐 ，OK。
你不要吃完那个烤肉串，然后把它带上飞机，不行。对，还有呢，就是刀子，你不能带刀子哦，不要以为那个什么修指甲刀都不行。可是女生有很多保养品瓶瓶罐罐的啊，
非常多，对不对？
对，
这些哈一个一个来讲哈，就是那种液状的啊、胶状的啊，还有就是液化气体啊，这些好像发胶喷的那一种。那个每一个东西哈，分开看，那都不能超过100 ml 100 cc 哈，所以像 pastes、gels、liquids、creams and foams 这些最多 maximum 就是100 milliliter， 100 ml 这样 OK，and they must be in a completely sealed transparent bag。
你要把它呢放在你的随身行李中，你必须要用透明的或者是密封的罐子或者袋子装好才可以。
对，好，那个袋子的话就是那种夹链袋 ，OK， 所以 sealed 要把它那个粘起来，把它密封起来，而且还要是透明的，就是方便他检查的时候一看就知道 transparent bag 这样。
那还有什么要注意的呢？
还有什么要注意的？Is there anything else I should know about?
Is there anything else I should know about? 很重要。
有。
行动电源不能托运，要随身携带。
对，所以你说 portable chargers 或者是 power banks should be put in the carry-on luggage.
Portable chargers or power banks should be put in the carry-on luggage.
对，
因为你如果放在行李箱，它万一爆炸了，那就
对，它会把你丢掉了。
真的。对。所以不小心带这些违禁品的时候，我跟你讲，你有可能会被丢掉，但你有可能你这个人就被丢掉了，不准登机。
OK， 看一下今天的 live action。
Excuse me.
Yes.
What items are prohibited on flight?
On flights, certain items that are considered hazardous are prohibited on all flights.
Such as
explosives and flammable substances and items with sharp or pointed blades.
Is there anything else I should know about?
Pastes, gels, liquids, and creams and foams must be in a completely sealed and transparent bag.
Oh.
And the maximum Volume for each of these is 100 milliliter.